A prominent professor and scientist from MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts, was conducting research into the field of plasma-based energy sources. Plasma energy has been heralded as a possible self-sustaining, renewable, non-fossil fuel option for the future of energy production. A few months ago, he was tragically murdered. The man who the police believe murdered him sadly committed suicide just a few days later. And if the story stopped there, this would just be a sad and senseless tragedy. But since then, several other prominent professors and scientists in related fields have been murdered or have gone missing. Could there be something more nefarious at play? While we don't know enough to answer this question, we do have enough information to start asking some darker questions. I'm Chris.
I'm Kathy.
I'm Sean.
And this is Weirder After Dark. So to open up, guys, I want to talk about conspiracy theories in general. Maybe this is to convince myself that I'm not crazy, but I think I am not a conspiracy theorist.
You want us to convince you that you're not crazy?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
You picked an interesting crew to do that. You don't know if we'd be chalked up as normal, but okay.
You're usually the one that's going for it, believing in it.
I mean, I'm definitely conspiracy theory adjacent.
Mhm.
I think that's more accurate. I'm interested, but I'm not completely bought in either.
Okay.
I do think some cases it's fair to ask more questions. I think at times we label things conspiracies, almost like a catch-all for things we don't want to agree with or want to think about.
I had to have a conversation with Chris this morning or last night where I was talking about the moon landing.
Yes.
I saw a bunch of videos where people were like, how do people think this is real? And I was like, wait a minute, did it really happen? And then I was like, no, stop it, Kathy. It happened.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him.
We can think outside the box and ask questions without having to wear a tinfoil hat. I think there's a space for that. I think that's what this podcast kind of is. So don't get me wrong. There are some actual conspiracy theories out there. We did land on the moon, Kathy. The earth is not flat, and most billionaires and politicians are not a secret race of reptilians living underground. Evil, maybe. Reptilian, probably not.
Can't convince me otherwise, Chris.
So when I get these stories and when I'm hearing these stories or I'm researching them, I try to take kind of Buddha's teachings on a beginner's mind into these cases that we discuss. I try to hear it with less of my personal beliefs and biases before I form an opinion. I'm not good at that. At times I have to ask, what do I know versus what do I believe?
It's hard to not buy into the hype of a story, right?
Yeah.
Like things start moving in a direction,
Yeah.
you start getting excited about it.
Especially if it's a good storyteller.
Yeah.
That's what happened with the videos and stuff I was watching about the moon.
Yeah.
And they were just people who were good talkers. And then I was like, maybe they are right. Maybe it didn't really happen.
I think there's some human part of us that wants conspiracy theories to be real too. We want there to be some big machine in the background working against us. So some huge secret that only we are going to be a part of and understand.
Because then it's not our fault.
Yeah.
And you start to question yourself. Am I looking for this answer or is this the answer that keeps coming out? So for today's story, we're going to take a slightly different angle. I will read you facts from several articles and interviews I've read, and I'll ask you guys some questions. We'll kind of discuss what it means. So in essence, Kathy and Sean are going to be doing all the work for this episode, which works out great for me.
It sounds like you're setting Kathy up just to see, how crazy are they?
Yeah.
And you're going to expose us to the world. That's what you're doing here?
Maybe.
Okay, cool. I'm in.
I'm also trying to figure out if I'm crazy, right? Because I'm reading the stories this all fits.
Yeah.
I
And
think
I'm
our listeners have a gauge of where we land.
All right, yeah. But before we get into the story, I want to ask you guys a hypothetical question. It's 1947. You're the head of McKirkland Air Force Base. The Air Force just brought in downed alien aircraft and alien bodies from a crash site in Roswell, New Mexico. The Air Force is telling the public that the crash was a downed weather balloon, and the public's buying it. It is your job to study and reverse engineer this alien technology. So what do you do? What disciplines or scientific fields do you bring in to study these crafts?
My first phone call is to Matt from Paranormal Directive 13.
I figured.
Getting in here, man, and I need your help.
He is our resident alien expert.
Exactly. After that, though, I don't really care so much about the biology of the aliens.
All right.
I am 100% focusing on the technology itself. So I'm probably cryogenically freezing the alien bodies. I'm sure it's not fingerprint sensors, but maybe how do they operate?
How do you know it's not fingerprint sensors?
I don't know.
Or their eyes? How do you know it's not like a scan?
That's what I was saying. I need to maintain the body because we still might need them. All right. But I'm focusing on the crafts. And then I think you're bringing in like the people who understand metals, electronics, flight, literally anything that you can think of. Just get the smartest people in the world here and try to get them to learn from whatever it is.
And I'm taking photos of everything and secretly documenting it. This is huge. So my life is probably going to be on the line.
You also have to remember, as head of the Air Force, this is a secret. So you have to find people that you can trust, people that already have top secret clearance, people that can be quieted if they need to be. Well, when I first wrote this question, I was with Sean. I was like, I'm bringing the smartest people in the world. But I'm saying, wait, this story can't get out too. So you have to be kind of limited in who you bring in. Keep that question in mind.
Okay.
December 15th, 2025, just a few months ago, 47-year-old MIT professor Nuno Larazzo was shot and killed just outside his home in Brooklyn, Mass. Authorities said the gunman was Claudio Neves Valentin, a former classmate of Lorenzo's. A 4-day manhunt for Valentin ended when they found his body. He had committed suicide in a storage unit in Salem, Massachusetts, just 40 miles north of Boston.
Oh, that's like super close to us.
No motives for this crime have been determined at this time. No other connection between the two men have been released other than attending school together a decade ago.
Wait, so then why was there a manhunt for him?
They had him on camera near his house.
Okay.
He's also suspected in another shooting at Brown University, the same guy. So Lorenzo's research centered on plasma physics, the study of super hot ionized gas and how to apply them to fusion energy. Fusion energy has been theorized as a clean and possibly limitless power source. Lorenzo's research included the study of neutron stars merging that created a theoretic source of repeating unlimitless energy, so wicked smart. Rumors have been floating around that he could have been on the brink of a breakthrough in plasma energy that could have changed the way that we buy and sell or use energy worldwide, but this information has not been confirmed.
I mean, if that's true, I could see a lot of powerful people wanting to stop him.
Yeah, I think the powers that be would not want that out, right? We think we have a gold-based economy. No, we have an energy-based economy. Whoever controls the oil controls the world. So if the death and disappearances stop there, I think we just have a tragic story. However, astrophysicist Carl Gilmer, age 67, in Antelope Valley, California, was killed in his home on February 16th, 2026, just 6 weeks later. He was gunned down on his front porch at 6 a.m. local time. Gilmeyer was a graduate of Caltech who had contributed to the discovery of water on distant planets. His colleagues called his work ingenious and added that the research could point to signs of life on planets less than 160 light years from Earth. He worked with NASA and logged over 400 hours on the Hubble telescope, a leading expert on life on other planets. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department named Freddie Snyder, age 29, as a person of interest in Gilmer's homicide case. They later charged Freddie with murder and carjacking and burglary in an unrelated case. However, the police have not released a motive in the alleged homicide, and it's unclear if the two men knew each other and whether the shooting was targeted or random. Of note, nothing was stolen during this murder.
I feel like I need a pen and piece of paper. Keep track of everything that's going on already.
So right now we've got this MIT professor that was murdered outside of his house.
Coming up with...
And we don't have a motive.
Okay.
And then we have an astrophysicist who's a expert on extraterrestrial life and extraterrestrial planets and what they look like and what they're made of. He was murdered 6 weeks later, and there's still no motive.
And are these two scientists related at all? Do they know each other?
So they don't know each other.
Okay.
But it doesn't stop there. The remains of 45-year-old Jason Thomas were discovered on March 17th, 2026 in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Thomas had been the assistant director of chemical biology division at Novartis, a global pharmaceutical company. He disappeared on December 12th, 2025. His work focused on chemistry and biology and discovering new medicines, including potential treatments for cancer. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Now, Novartis has an active contract with the U.S. Department of War, formerly known as the U.S. Department of Defense. The Wakefield Police Department said that the cause of death still needs to be determined. So now you add a world-renowned chemist and biologist to the list of recently murdered. Now, this is where the story gets really strange. Retired General William McNeill Caslin, age 68, a NASA aerospace engineer, went missing. He oversaw a program called the Advanced Materials Program at the U.S. Air Force Base with a budget of over $2.2 billion at McClurkin Air Force Base between 2001 and 2004.
Are they all working on a secret government project together?
It's a great theory, right? Because they could all be related, right?
Before we go there, though, you said he went missing.
Went missing.
What does that mean?
We'll get into that a little bit. So he was the director of space acquisitions in the office of the Undersecretary of the Air Force. What do you think that means?
It means buying up stars,
Comets,
planets,
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you buy space? Can we do that? I want to buy the moon. Can I get 6 acres on the moon?
Yeah,
is it cheaper than Earth? Because if it's more expensive than Earth, damn it, I can't even get there.
Are you sure we've even been there?
Yeah, I had the same question, right? So I Googled it. I asked, what does the director of space acquisition do? And what I found was they assist in space acquisitions for the U.S. Air Force.
I still don't know what that means.
So we got that all cleared up.
Yeah.
So there's really no explanation of what that means.
Are you acquiring or overtaking other people's satellites? And that's a cute way to make it sound less aggressive.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, maybe. I didn't even think of that.
I was like, acquisitions.
Mars is mine.
Yeah, I'm going to buy, I own, from this star to that star.
You know what? As funny as that is, think of all the claims that different countries have on the Arctic right now. Maybe it's the same thing where it's multiple countries have been to the moon and it's who owns what part of the moon. So maybe he is working strategically, make sure that we are mapping out what is ours versus what is theirs. Maybe there is a role like that.
Yeah. And I think as we become a spacefaring race, I think that we're probably having those conversations of, is the moon up for grabs? Can you take material from the moons? Who owns it, right? So General McCaslin, a guy with top secret clearance and decades of service to the country at the highest level, that guy went missing on February 27th of this year. He was last spotted near Quail Run Court in Albuquerque, New Mexico, a popular place to hike and a place that he was reportedly very familiar with. McCaslin's wife, Susan, noted that her husband was an avid hiker and cyclist, and he left home that day with only a pair of boots and a .38 caliber revolver because America.
Good.
What else do you need, guys?
Yeah.
Let's be real.
He also left without taking his phone, his smartwatch, or his prescription glasses that day.
So did he go to commit suicide?
We don't know.
Yeah, that's suspicious there, though.
Yeah, I mean...
What we do know is that canine units, drones, search parties, helicopters have all searched the local area for weeks. No signs, no bodies, no leads have been found. He's just all the way totally missing.
Who would go hiking without their phone?
I go for runs without my phone. So, I don't and I'll go for 5, 6, 7 miles without my phone. And I don't.
Yeah, but you're not going someplace isolated.
That's true.
Would you ever go on a hike without your phone?
No.
Or some way to use it as communicate in case you got hurt or something? That's what I'm saying.
And keep in mind, this guy's a career military. He's not going anywhere not prepared, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
If he is a military man, he is far more than a man than I will ever be. So maybe they don't need communication.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
We are very different humans.
Yeah,
I just find my way through the woods.
Yeah, he's I do this hike all the time. It's fine.
So very strange, right? So far?
Yes.
But we're not done.
Of course.
Monica Reza, age 60, an aerospace engineer involved in advanced alloys and development of rocket engines. She disappeared in June of 2025 while hiking in the Angels National Forest in California. She was reportedly hiking in the national forest with a friend. Her friend reports she was about 30 feet behind her on the trail, and when she turned around, she was gone.
What?
Searched by the local and state police, park rangers turned up nothing, no traces, no signs of a struggle, no body, just gone.
No, there's nothing more to that story?
They never found a shoe or
still,
piece of clothing?
No leads, still a missing persons case.
What?
So this hike was a 3-mile loop, and this happened about a mile into that 3-mile loop.
Ah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
No screams, you hear nothing though? That's so odd.
And if she knew roughly where she was on the hike, if she fell or got hurt or got injured, they would find her.
Yeah.
So it's very strange.
It's so suspicious.
It's not like it's a 40-mile hike and she might be somewhere on the trail.
If we're going to go into the world that her friend is not the person who did this, I'm assuming the police looked into that. How do you kidnap someone from the woods and just never see them again? You have to murder them, right? You can't extract someone through the woods. And it's not like she's super old, 62. Yeah. That's not super old.
Yeah. Or I mean, even if like, I guess like someone could come up and grab you and
chloroform you maybe? Like,
yeah.
And then drag your body out of the woods.
What I'm saying is that like, if someone comes up behind you and they had a gun to me and they were like, you're going to come quietly. You're going to go quietly. You're going to go and just kind of hope that you can find a way out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't
I wish I had looked more into which trail she was on, so I had some more questions. Was this a real popular trail? Was it a trail that was, less known? So interestingly, she had previously worked for McCaslin at McKirkland Air Force Base. She was a prominent scientist in the Air Force research laboratories, and most of her work was developing exotic materials for NASA and space engines. She was serving as the director of material processing group at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratories when she vanished. So again, an expert on exotic metals, and again working for NASA and the Air Force, and again having top secret clearance. So very interestingly, conspiracy theorists have noted that an online memorial claiming Reza was dead appeared on the website Find a Grave just 4 days into the search for the missing scientist. The site reported that she had a natural burial, meaning no embalming fluids, no chemicals, an unfinished wood coffin.
She was missing.
That page has mysteriously been taken down since, and she remains a missing persons case to this day.
But I also could see, could a conspiracy theorist already started connecting the dots, added a layer to it, try to do it? They realized it was fake.
Very, very
still
strange.
Weird. Yeah, still weird. All weird.
So 5 scientists in related fields, all connected to government programs with top secret clearance, 3 murdered, 2 gone in a very short period of time. Let's get stranger. In an interview with the online publication The Daily Mail, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett, a Republican, said, "I see a clear pattern in these seemingly unrelated deaths and disappearances, noting that several of them have been connected to theories about extraterrestrial spacecraft." This is not from Matt at Paranormal Directive 13. This is from a U.S. congressman that said they have all connected to an extraterrestrial spacecraft program. So Congressman Burchett also blasted the national intelligence community, specifically calling out the FBI for being unhelpful and frustrating his attempts to find out the truth about what happened to these scientists. Burchett reported, "The numbers seem very high in certain areas of research. I think we better be paying attention, and I don't think we should be trusting our government on this one."
Interesting. Interesting. Now, I take this, obviously coming from a senator. They obviously get, briefings that us normies will never get or never understand. So there's a layer of credibility that comes with this. Also, though, look at some members of our Congress and they're batshit crazy, too. So I don't know this individual or anything about them.
The congressman specifically noted that McCaslin's disappearance was a major national security issue, claiming that the general not only possessed some of America's nuclear secrets, but also worked on recovered UFO technology housed in Ohio.
The senator said that?
The senator said that in an interview with the Daily News.
That she worked on UFO crafts in Ohio.
Yes. U.S. congressman who gets briefings from the Pentagon, read in on all the top secret stuff, very matter-of-factly says, we have UFO technology.
Part of me goes, holy fuck. That's really weird, especially with everything that's been happening with UAPs over the last couple of years.
Right.
We have people testifying that they worked for the government and they did recover crafts and worked on crafts and
saw
things and say the U.S. government has it. You factor in that Donald Trump came out a couple weeks ago and said, hey, we're going to release documents about UAPs and UFOs and everything that we know.
And at the same time, all these people just went missing.
Yeah, it's strange. Then I'm also kind of
maybe it's
cover up for the Epstein files. Let's just pull our attention away from other shit.
Exactly.
Are they just murdering people to create something to pull the attention away? I don't know.
You guys want to go further down the road?
No, there's more, Chris.
Another strange connection. General McCaslin name had become associated with the UFO topic after the 2016 WikiLeaks release from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta. In the released emails, musician Tom DeLonge, founder of Blink-182 and the UFO-focused To the Stars Academy program, referenced McCaslin multiple times, claiming that he advised him on disclosure matters and helped to assemble an advisory team. So we have leaked emails.
I'm so confused. You lost me.
Yeah, I'm me too.
What 182? What is
and he's like the captain and in charge of some space advisory program.
If I followed that correctly, Blink 182 is in charge of aliens. Like, what's going on here?
You got it. Yes.
That means the Kardashians are involved.
No, I feel like you just had me about this. This is a really interesting story, and then you went deep into conspiracy.
We're now living amongst lizard people.
So in the WikiLeaks emails, McCaslin,
the general,
missing general,
he was mentioned several times, linked to Tom DeLonge, the founder of Blink 182.
Mm-hmm.
Tom DeLonge was the founder of a UFO-focused program called To the Stars Academy that was working with government officials to get disclosure about the truth about alien crafts.
Okay. So Tom DeLonge just thinks UFOs are cool. He started some foundation, is like, I'm going to find out what the U.S. government knows about this. And he was working with McAllister in some way to go ahead and get that done.
According to the released emails.
That sounds less conspiracy theory and crazy, though.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that route.
Okay.
Yeah. So at first it's like, what? Blink 182 is like...
Blink 182 is involved.
Do we have to get an album and play it backwards?
Well, you know they have that song, right? Like, hey, Mom, there's something in the back room. I hope it's not those creatures from above.
Yes.
I know the FBI. Yeah. I was like, they have a whole song about this. It's like, that's why I was supposed to go deep. I was like, what?
We just spiraled.
So Congressman Bichette continues in the article. Reza was working on special metals used in missiles and rocket technology, which raises a question for him. Where did those materials originally come from? So he seems to be hinting there that she was working on reverse engineered material.
Even the term exotic metals is kind of strange. What does that mean?
Yeah.
So to me, if I was going to interpret that, and I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but it's like materials and metals not from Earth, which is like, okay, like if you're stretching me here and be like, oh, is it like stuff from asteroids that have hit the Earth that aren't naturally formed?
Well, we
have a spacecraft.
We have naturally occurring metals.
Yeah.
And then we have used chemistry to change metals.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to make something lighter that would be in outer space, you would need
to call that exotic.
That would be an exotic metal that we've never used before.
Okay,
right?
So taking maybe existing metals on the planet and changing them and reshaping them somehow could be an exotic metal. Okay.
Or it could be reversed engineering spacecraft, right?
Yeah.
Well, both can be true, can't they?
Is this what you wanted, Chris? You wanted us going hinge. We're going.
I need some tequila.
So Bichette said, I've talked to people in the department that says, yes, in fact, they do exist. There is UFO material. We don't really know what it is or what to do with it. The congressman also said, I spoke to other members in the intelligence community who claim that they have no knowledge of UFOs or the U.S. military's alleged work on reverse engineering that technology. He concluded, I honestly think they're both telling the truth. So he's claiming he's talked to people in the right positions that have said, yes, we have this technology. And he's talked to other people who's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, that would be like a need-to-know basis, right?
Yeah, that's what I would think too, yeah. So that kind of makes sense. So there it is. A group of scientists in rapid precession, missing or deceased. No motives have been released for the murders. No bodies have been recovered for 2 of the missing people. A U.S. congressman telling us that alien crafts and technology are connected to the missing scientists. So I take you back to the question we started with. If you were putting together some kind of a dream team to research craft UFOs or to do some kind of secret space program, what disciplines would you gather from? Would they be experts on exotic energy, exotic metals, an expert on exoplanets maybe, a world-renowned chemist and biologist? And all of this kind of starts to make sense, right?
He landed the plane on your idea, Kathy.
When
you went in the beginning, you're just like, are all these people working on some top secret thing and they're getting murdered? And Chris just literally ended there being like, I don't know, are they?
And now I'm just like sitting here going, I don't know, are they?
Have you ever heard of a pattern like this occurring where top scientists just start going missing outside of like a world war?
People
we are
missing.
At war, though.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's normal. Like we're trying to probably kidnap scientists from Iran. Is Iran trying to kind of kidnap scientists from us?
Right.
Like when you're at war, stuff like that happens.
I mean, China would be interested in some of this technology, some of this information, but it's all very strange timing. Remember, this happened within 6 months or so. 2, 3 of these cases in rapid precession, tragic, terrible coincidence. You had 5 within 6 months, which is very strange. I don't think we can conclude anything today. But when making the facts fit the official story is more difficult than making them fit the conspiracy theory, I think we're in safe grounds to start asking more questions. I don't think we're tinfoil hats and zombie spray here, guys.
Is there a world where it's 5 tragic events?
That's what I was just thinking.
Is there a world where this is connected? Absolutely.
Could be.
And there's so many different theories, right? Well, we got the war theory. Chris, you said, hey, other countries might want this technology, or stop us from getting it before they could. Could that lead to these deaths and murders? Could that one person from the military, could he have been suicidal? I hope not. And I know there's a grieving family, so I feel bad even throwing this out there.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard story to go down because it's so recent.
Happening right now. When there's actual people out there that are looking for their loved ones. So I wanted to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Take the aliens out of it. Could they have been working on top secret military projects? They want to disclose something and then they went missing.
Yeah.
Totally could be.
Take the aliens right out of it.
Yeah.
It's still very, very strange.
Which one's the most plausible, do you think, though?
I think the most likely outcome is this is a series of very strange, tragic coincidences, and there's nothing else there. But it's really hard to deny the fact that these people were in the same relative fields. They all had top secret military clearances. They all work on similar things. And then they all went missing while we are in the midst of some very strange, we're going to disclose information, we're not going to disclose information.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot about each other here today. So Chris says most likely probably a coincidence, but strange. Kathy?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's, I don't know, because I'm thinking
I'll just leave that in.
It's hard for me because I'm sitting here thinking okay, so they were all relatively in the same field. But I mean, how many crimes happen in the United States among people with similar professions, right? I don't know, waitresses, people who work in, I don't know, waitresses
you
or
said
finances.
The top of the profession and then went to waitresses.
I don't know.
No disrespect, waitresses. You're out there at the top of your profession.
I'm just thinking,
So, I'm sure 5 or 6 waitresses have been murdered or gone missing, but
you know what the point I was trying to make. Okay?
But there's lots of waitresses. There's not a lot of top scientists.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I could see if you looked at the country as a whole, there are people in similar professions who have gone missing or have been killed, right, in weird circumstances. But because you add that layer that they all had top secret clearance to military information, it does add that layer of that's kind of weird, and it all happened at the same time. I think there's enough to maybe look a little bit deeper. I don't know necessarily if it's because they're hiding alien bodies.
You see, that it's interesting because that almost is a good argument against the conspiracy. Wouldn't the government be better at making people disappear, that it wouldn't look...
They kidnapped the president of Venezuela in minutes,
so
in and out.
Couldn't they fake a heart attack or fake the documentation and make it look more random?
I don't know, but then you see how we're handling the Iran situation.
Yeah.
I mean, we're also really good at fumbling.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we also are not being the most smooth on everyday things.
I don't know if there's any adults left in the room.
But what better way to make it seem not like a conspiracy theory? By making it look like it could potentially be one. Being oh, you think it's really a conspiracy theory? It's a little crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Reverse psychology?
Maybe,
we're going to make it so obvious that it looks crazy?
That people will say, well, why would they do that? I mean, look at all the other theories that are out there, right? People thought that higher politicians and everything else having sacrifices and sex rings where that's not really happening. That's crazy. They wouldn't do that.
All I can say is Kathy loves conspiracy theories. She's all in on this.
Yeah. Well, hi, Chris. Nice to meet you. So am I. I'm not going to lie. I take a look at this, and again, I'm going to apologize because I know they're active investigations, and I feel bad even speculating on it, but this is way too weird for it to all be coincidences. Kathy, to the point you were trying to make, they're not waitresses. There are individuals at the top of their fields. All of them in 6 months going missing. That can't happen
weird.
On a regular basis.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd all be no one wants that job.
Yeah.
You very well might go missing. This is strange. And that alone to me makes me stop and go, huh. And then when you start to unpack a mile in the woods and just plucked basically out of the thin air, that's so weird. How does that happen? It could totally happen. People go missing. I don't know. The walking out to go for a hike and disappearing.
And not
maybe
bringing
suicide.
Your phone or your smartwatch or your prescription glasses. That part
The only way you would do that is if you were going with someone that you trusted.
Yeah.
And was his wife home when he left?
I don't know. I think she might have came home afterwards.
Okay.
To me, I don't know if it's aliens again, but something's happening.
Whether
it's we're at war and this is what happens during the wartime.
Yeah.
If there's some secret group working on alien crafts, sure. I'm sorry, any fucking congressperson, period, telling me there's UFO. I don't believe you. Show me the proof. Like, I've heard tons of shit from your mouth and we're about to lose our fucking Medicare. So I don't want to hear anything.
It's too weird. If it was just like a bunch of line cooks, like, okay. I know. I'm just saying, I don't know
insult
why.
all our listeners, Kathy.
No, it's just...
Well, it's 6 line cooks. We wouldn't be doing an episode.
It's not that you guys aren't important. These guys are top
What about
military.
truckers? What if it was 6 truckers, Kathy?
Well, truckers usually end up being serial killers. So if a few of them go missing, yeah.
Oh, God. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on this story, though.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep an eye on this and see how it continues to unfold moving forward. Do more people go missing? Does disclosure from this White House actually end up coming out like they say it's going to? I have zero hopes.
I have other files I'd like to have come out first.
Well, Chris, thank you for finding this research, bringing it up, doing the homework to try to get us some of the details here. So
you guys did most of the work on this episode. I just read some articles. So
well,
worked out good.
Sorry, gang. When Kathy and I are doing most of the work, this is a doomed episode. Gang, we hope you enjoyed the episode here today, and we will make a commitment to keep our eyes on the story and give you updates as it continues on. Be sure to check out our Instagram, where Chris will be going ahead and dropping some information to go ahead and support this episode. And it's not just Instagram. We are out there building some community ties, so you can find us there on Reddit, Instagram, and Facebook, where you can talk to us as well as other listeners who are enjoying these episodes just like you. And remember, if you've got your own weird New England stories, have you kidnapped someone in the woods?
What?
Have you?
No.
Report that to the police.
Turn yourself in immediately.
But if you've seen any UFOs, ghosts, or anything like that, we want those stories. And you can send them to the gang at weirderafterdark.com, and we'll share one on an upcoming listener tale or an upcoming episode. And remember, if you were liking this shit, if you were absolutely loving this shit, the best thing you can do to help us out is to go ahead wherever you're listening, give this episode and give our podcast a like, a heart, a star, whatever the fuck they got going on over there, and drop a comment onto that. It would absolutely mean the world. And buy a fucking candle at ghostpoppy.com. And lastly, remember, it always gets a little weirder after dark.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.